We're doing it, Eddie.
We did it?
We did it. We survived
2024?
2024.
Great.
Everyone was like, stay alive till 2025.
Why? Because it's going to be worse.
It's fucking, now what? Now what? What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Not Today. I'm Jen Sturger. If this is your first time being here, I don't know how you got here, but we're happy you're here.
Welcome to the show.
And who are you?
Eddie Pence.
Jesus Christ.
What?
Introduce yourself.
Eddie. Hi, I'm Eddie Pence.
I'm like, someone told me, they go, why do you introduce yourself at the beginning of every show? And I'm like, because we're still growing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, odds are, if someone found us and stumbled here,
They want to know who we are.
they want to know who the idiots are that
Sure.
are giving out life advice,
Yeah.
who are talking about their problems, etc. You know, you want to know the
You
tea.
always got to introduce yourself. And then you also have to tell the listeners to leave us a 5-star rating and a positive text review.
Yeah. Do all
That's
that
very
stuff. You
important.
guys have been doing a great job. We want to keep up that momentum going into 2025.
We're in 2025
Yes.
right now.
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
but
okay.
going into it, like,
Yes.
we need to start this thing off on the right foot.
Of course.
Jesus. I think I'm still a little brain dead from when we went to Disney. By the way, Not Today we took our first
Is it-
show outing.
Yeah.
That was our first friendship
company
outing.
vacation.
Yeah. It was a very small company vacation.
Very tiny.
But we went to Disneyland together.
Yes.
And listen, before we went to Disney, Eddie was very clear on how he and his family did Disney.
Yeah.
He's like, listen, we go hard.
We go hard. We go till we hate it. And then we leave.
Eddie, even with that warning, I was still not fully prepared for how you guys do Disney.
Right.
Because, I don't know, like, I felt like I did Disney pretty hard. I feel like I do Disney.
You're good. You're a solid Disney goer.
Pretty
Sure.
competitively.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between people who do intramural Disney and people who play professional Disney.
No.
And you are a professional
I'm a pro.
Disneyer.
I'm a pro at
It's
Disney.
insane.
I have hookups. I know people that can get me on things. I had tricks I can do. And I got us on every ride we wanted to get on. Sand Space Mountain because it broke.
You absolutely did. But Jesus. Alex, when I say, well, here's the problem. You were playing on a different level than even some members of your own team that you brought with you,
Oh, yeah. I got to pull them along.
which is
But
insane.
But that's what superstars do. They elevate the rest of the team.
MVP right here. He's the MVP.
That's what MVPs do.
Alex, when I say Eddie at Disney is like a fiend trying to get a fix of dopamine.
Yeah. I'm chasing that high the whole day.
You chase that high the whole day, and if anybody dares to slow you down,
Nope.
like, you are the dad that's like, you need another bathroom break? What the fuck is wrong? How
You
much?
peed 3 hours ago.
Like, what are you doing? First of all,
I have a question. Hold on.
I get there, Alex, at like 10:30. I get there at 10:30. He's already on his first meal break.
We got there. I wanted to get there earlier, but we couldn't drop our dog off at the doggy daycare until 8 a.m.
How dare Stanley ruin this?
Fuck that shit up because the park opened at 8 a.m. So
Yeah.
I'm in LA while
So you've already
the rope is dropping.
you've already missed
I'm
the first
pissed.
pickle.
Why'd you go to Disney?
Exactly.
I'm with you.
Why bother?
You'd already missed the first pickle.
Yeah, first pickle. Actually, no. Didn't miss the first pickle this time. There was a recall on Disneyland pickles when we were there.
What?
There was no pickles to be found.
Wow.
Because Colton went and asked as soon as we got there because he was hungry. He wanted to get a pickle, and they're like, "Oh, we've had a recall on pickles."
Wow.
So he got first banana.
First banana. They
Or
don't
probably
have pins.
80th banana.
They
by
don't
that
have
point.
pins for that.
No, there's no pin for the banana. But we got
Man.
there at 9. I think we pulled in at like 9:30.
You pulled in at 9:30 because
Right.
you texted me, and
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, "Yeah, I'll see you tonight."
And you're like, we're like, you're like, I'll see you. Or I think you said, I'm on my way. And I look at Trace and like, she's still at home.
No, I was on my way.
She's still in LA.
I was on my way, but I had to pick up other members of our party. It was,
Yeah, yeah.
so
But we got there. We got there and we're like, okay, Jen, I figured you were probably like 40 minutes away. And so I was like, all right, we can get Big Thunder Mountain in.
you did.
And we did. And then we went to Jolly Holiday and ate. And that's where you found us.
Yeah, I found you guys just destroying holiday treats.
Oh, dude.
That is too early. I don't care
No.
where you are to eat cupcakes
You go.
and cookies. Like, you might as well have been doing lines of sugar.
Well, you got to get through the day, man.
Alex, I walked up, they were like, you want some of this?
It's like Vegas. You just have to do what you have to do to survive. You put things into your body, whatever you have to put into your body to get through the day.
So you guys were powering up.
We always have, this is our tradition with our family. As soon as we get there, we have to have the Jolly Holiday Special, which is a grilled cheese sandwich and the tomato soup.
Oh.
Right? Fuck. And then, so we had that, and then Colton and Tracy always like the macaroons, so they get the macaroons.
The macaroons. I did have a bite of the macaroons. They were delicious.
Yeah.
I feel like it tanked my blood sugar too early.
It'll give you a spike, and then you're gonna crash.
So then I
But
made
that's
the
what
fatal
churros
mistake.
are for.
That's
And then you wash them down with a cold Sprite.
Exactly.
This entire episode is just sponsored by
Right.
type 2 diabetes.
And then you ride the crash down with the Dole Whip.
So-
It's very easy to do.
The reason why you get in queue for lines is so you can you get ready for the next sugar.
Exactly.
I'm with you.
You're chasing one sugar high after another until you leave the park.
Yeah, you got to get your Star Wars sugar.
But
then you gotta get your
so that's where we
future
started our
sugar.
day. That's where we started our day, was in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. We went to Rise first. Let's knock this thing out
Get that out of
because
the way.
that bitch breaks down all the time.
Yeah.
And even that, we were on the ride and some of the components weren't working.
Little weird. Little
and
janky.
I was like,
It's a little janky.
no.
Yeah. But we got through it.
When that thing works on all cylinders, it is untouchable as a ride.
It is pretty spectacular.
It's like you're living in a movie.
Yeah.
When there's a piece that doesn't work that you know how
Right.
it works, you're like, oh,
You're like, oh, God, you missed that part.
Yeah.
That part's not there.
that person's not there, or there's no sense of danger because those things aren't popping out in
Right.
front of you, towards the end.
And then
The cannons.
the can. Well, they stopped moving the cans a while ago.
Why?
I don't know.
Someone got hit.
I think they kept breaking, so they're just like, or maybe someone got ran over.
I think someone got ran over.
But I taught that Rise was a good time because I taught Colton a very valuable life lesson. Is because as soon as we got off the transport into the Star Destroyer, and then you could walk in the lines to go to your holding cells, right?
Mhm.
There was that one line; it was just all people, just waiting all the way backed up, and then the other lane was just empty.
What is that?
And you and I and Tracy and we just walked in the empty
What
lane.
is that?
I don't know. And I look, Colton. People are sheep. They just go where they see other people. So just learn that there's an empty lane. You just
if
have
you
to
want
take
to be
it.
a part of the resistance, Colton,
Go
you gotta think
Right.
outside the box.
Go the path less traveled.
path less
'Cause
traveled. You did.
people are sheep. People are.
So Eddie is a pro.
Yeah. I got us on everything.
We knocked out Rise immediately. Got it done because it broke down for like most of the day.
Yeah. And Space Mountain, which sucked.
That was tragic. But you are the type of Disney goer that you will literally leave behind your family.
Oh, I did a couple times. I turned around a couple times and I was alone. I was like, oh fuck, I gotta go back.
It was so bad. I was trying to like bridge the gap between everyone else and Eddie. So
Yeah.
like I was in the middle, like I was the middle link that was holding everyone together.
Yeah.
Like if this is Back to the Future 3, I'm that chain link that's holding the front of the train together from all the rest of the trains.
Yeah.
And if I leave,
Yeah.
you're going
If
into
you pull that pin up.
yeah, you're going into the ravine, buddy. You are getting in so much trouble. I don't know how you and Tracy don't fight.
What we do?
No, at Disney.
Oh, probably a little bit. There's some looks. Like, slow the fuck down. What are you doing? I'm like,
Because Tracy's got her own little energy to
Yeah,
her
yeah,
too. But the thing that really surprised me was just how leisurely Colton is
oh yeah,
at Disney.
yeah,
I thought for sure, being excited and being your son,
yeah.
he would be like, let's go.
No,
And he's almost like, I've done this so many times.
He really
stroll.
has.
I'm gonna stroll.
he really has.
I'm gonna stroll.
He just strolls through because one, I think Tracy and him, they both know I'm going to take control and get us through the park. I will guide us through. We
You are the shepherd.
We're the Fellowship, and I am Gandalf, and I am getting us through. And I think they sort of relax and take it easy.
But anyways, we get.
And I was just fucking
really
fast
were.
passing everything.
But I will say this: Eddie committed the most fatal of errors that there is to commit at Disney. You guys, so we got to ride the new Tiana's Bayou.
The new and improved and less racist.
Yes.
Splash Mountain.
The new Splash Mountain. We got to ride it. We were very excited about it. Really wanted to see what they did with it. Really wanted to like get immersed in the storytelling of The Princess and the Frog.
Sure.
And that is not what happened.
No.
Because when we went to go board this ride, Eddie and Colton, who combined probably weigh somewhere in the ballpark of 425 pounds, I'm guessing.
I would say closer to 450. 450.
450.
We're almost a quarter of a ton.
450.
Almost a quarter of a ton.
Decide to sit in the front of the boat.
Well, to
they front loaded our log flume.
My defense is the guy directed us there.
What
He's like, you go 1 and 2.
No, bullshit. You could have had some foresight and you could have been like, you know what, guys? I think I should probably sit in the back of the boat. We should put Jen and Tracy in the front. You know, women and children first.
Yeah.
Except your child is as big as you.
Yeah. We weighted the boat up front, which is
so we
a
weighted the
mistake.
boat up front. And it's not even that. It's that Eddie sat there with a 50-pound backpack also in his lap.
Yeah. So I guess we were 500
You
pounds
were
up front.
500 pounds in the front of this
Yeah.
log flume.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys know science, but this was bad. Everybody else was getting off this ride and they looked reasonably dry. Like even the people that bought ponchos
Like a
were
wet arm or a wet thigh.
but
Nothing.
that's it. You know, like some sprinkles, maybe some wet butt cheeks just from like the residual splash of people stepping on the seat and not.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's not what happened.
No, that's not what happened.
When we got off this boat ride, Alex, we were a cautionary tale.
I think some people got out of line after seeing us.
So bad.
Some people are like, oh, this is not what I want.
We took the first dip, the smallest dip on this entire ride. And the front of the boat fucking submerged.
Dude, I was sitting up front. The front of the log went underwater.
Oh my God. That's
And
my
then
worst
all I
nightmare,
saw
bro.
was a tsunami of dirty, filthy Disneyland water. And it went black for a second because it blocked the sun. And the next thing I know, I was just drenched from head to toe, soaking wet.
Everyone in our boat got just absolutely destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. And Alex, what time did this happen? Was it later in the day?
Gotta be like 10 a.m.
Oh, no. That would have been the smart move.
Right.
That would have
Nope.
been the smart move.
So,
It was
so
like
you weren't in
around-
charge, Eddie.
It was around like 12.
It was like 12 or 1.
12:30,
Maybe 1:30.
maybe 1.
1:30. It was around lunchtime.
It was right around the time where I was like, this is too long
Yeah.
for the rest of the day to be spent chafing. Like you either got to do it first thing
Yeah.
and dry off.
Or do it in July when it's 95 degrees and the sun doesn't go down until 8 o'clock. But we did it in December when it was like 65
I'm just saying-
degrees.
I'm just saying, as a Disney professional, you let us down.
I did. I let us into a kill box. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was my bad.
Yeah, and then you ordered food soaking wet, and then you were like, "Why is everyone not
Right.
having fun?"
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I drove the platoon right into a kill box. It's my bad.
Alex, I was like, hey, we need a break now.
Yeah.
We need a break.
Yeah.
We need to go dry off. I need to eat some food before
Yeah.
I kill
Yeah,
someone.
you ditched us after that.
But did you buy a fun Disney pin?
I didn't get a pin. I haven't been doing the pin thing for a while.
Oh man.
We didn't get a pin.
I shoulda got a pin,
did
but I
get-
didn't.
Everybody there was wearing these super dope sweatshirt zip-up hoodies. And I was like, that is the item of the year.
Yeah. That's what I want.
I need one of those. And Eddie was even like, I want one of those.
Yeah, and I don't really have a lot of Disney gear.
No, you don't.
For being a Disney pro, I don't have a lot
Because
of
they
Disney.
always add cartoon characters to
Yeah.
it. They always make it like a little too kiddie. And
Yeah.
I'm sure that feels weird as a dude to be
A
like,
little bit.
yeah.
I don't want Daisy.
Unless it's like the
Daisy
Mandalorian.
Duck on my fucking chest.
But even a lot of the Star Wars stuff they sell there isn't like,
It's geared towards children.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's geared
which is
to-
fine because
it's
it's
not-
what it's for.
it doesn't go hard.
No, it doesn't go hard.
We found like sweatshirts from Disney
Fucking
that like
hard.
they go hard.
Hard.
Like Raiders fans would even be like, yes.
Yeah, like
These
chronic
go-
hard. Like
These
fucking
go
chronic
hard. These are Disney rap album hard hoodies.
Like Dr. Dre would wear this shit.
So anyways.
Like peak Dr. Dre, like 95 Dr. Dre.
Yeah. So that was one of my that was my Christmas gift to Eddie for being our
I
fearless
appreciate it.
leader.
I was
And
going to buy
honestly,
one anyway.
because your wife was so soaked.
And so wet.
Not in the way
Not in
you
the
want
good way.
her.
Not in the good way. Not in the good way.
So, anyways, that's our story from Disney.
But yeah, we went and we stayed till you guys bailed around 9:30,
Yeah, don't be that fucking guy.
and then I went.
Don't be that guy that leads your party
I went till
into
midnight.
drowning in
I
Splash
went
Mountain.
till midnight.
It's so bad though, because the one thing that I remember from that ride, I feel like the animatronics have probably been going too hard at that park, and they haven't had time to like stop down and fix some of the glitches, just because this is their busiest time of the year, and rides can't be down.
Yeah.
So like I felt like the rides were a little more glitchy than they normally are.
A little more.
But there was one in particular that stood out to me, and it's Alex. At the end of Tiana's Bayou, there's this big scene in like the grand hall where like everybody's playing music, everybody's having a fun time. It's a party, even though we're fucking soaked.
It's where they used to sing Zippity Doo Dah when it was Splash Mountain.
Instead of that,
I
they're
don't
like,
think you can say that anymore.
You can't say Zippity Doo Dah?
So, anyways, we get to that last room, and Tiana's supposed to be singing and dancing and having a good time. And for whatever reason, Tiana is frozen from the neck down.
Yeah.
So she's singing, but she is not moving. And I swear to God, it looked like an ad for the movie Nope or like Get Out. Like it looked like Disney's Get Out.
Yeah, it was off-putting.
It was just like, why is she not? She was just like, thank you so much for riding my ride.
Right. And there was like one eye was just like fucking like flinking a little bit.
Isn't this so much better than it used to be? Everything's fine now. It's fine.
We overcorrected, right? We totally overcorrected this ride.
But I knew, but I was wondering if I was the only person that saw it. And then when we got off the ride, Tracy was like, isn't it kind of weird that Tiana was just like staring at you like, get me out of here, guys.
Like,
Guys, I'm glued to the floor.
This is not what I wanted. This is not what I wanted.
Bring back Brer Fox.
Where's Brer Fox?
Anyways, but yeah, I'm excited to start this new year.
That was a good way to end it. It was a good way to end it.
It was a good way to end it,
yeah.
But I mean, I am excited to start this new year, mostly because I think a lot of us can agree 2024 was not our best work.
No. But that happens every year. Every year we get to the end of the year and we're like, wow, this year sucked. Next year's going to be better. And then that year's worse.
There's some years that I look back and I reflect and I'm like, you know what? This was a pretty good year. There have been some.
Yeah.
But I think as you get older, that sentiment kind of dies off and you're like, because you realize you're like, oh, I'm edging towards a finish line here.
Oh, yeah. I'm more than halfway there.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's nuts. I hate it. It's scary. That's why I literally, the older I get, the more I try to not look at time as a year loop, and then you start a new loop. I just try to look as time as one long, which is what it is really. It's just one long continuous thing without this, with this construct of the year that we've put on it.
Yeah, because I think when you put the construct of the year on it, you're like, oh, I get a do-over.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, guys.
Yeah, you're the same person in the same situation that you were the day before.
This is not a do-over situation.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes when you look at life through that mindset, you almost think, I'll get this on the next round of life. And it's like, no,
and I think
we don't know what's next.
I think it feeds into repeating and falling back into traps that got you where you were before.
Old patterns, because you go like, oh, well, okay, well, now it's January 1st, 2025. I can start anew. No, it's you have the same problems you had on December 31st that you have now. That's why I think resolutions are such bullshit.
Yeah.
Resolutions are bullshit unless they are based in change of behavior.
Yeah.
Change of behavior, change in mindset, change in like the way your brain is fundamentally wired.
But you have to make that decision to do it then and not get some arbitrary date to start it.
And it's not just yeah, of course. It's not just a hypothetical. It's also like, okay, if I'm going to give up smoking, go to the gym, be a better person, be a better partner, X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
You need to have actionable steps in place that you know you can live up to.
Yeah.
That you know you're not just going to fall off on. And
that's why you don't just like, okay, I'm going to start fasting and then you just do an 18-hour fast and like, that's not going to last.
No.
You're going to be miserable for 3 days, then stop. You have to work your way into it.
What's the dumbest New Year's resolution you've ever made? Do you make resolutions?
No, I try not to. I've always been against them.
I am too.
I'm trying to think if I've ever if I used to do it.
I don't try to do any of that. I try to change small pieces of my day and small pieces of how I operate to make my life better.
Yeah.
I think that's a more sustainable thing.
Yeah.
You know?
I used to look at it as, I mean, I guess these aren't really resolutions, but I would look at like, okay, it's the new year. I need to bear down more and doing the things I need to do to get me to where I want to go. But it's not so much a resolution where I give myself a step. Okay, I'm going to do this,
more of a reset.
It's more of a, I guess it's more of a reset. But again, it's just that arbitrary construct of time that we've put on it that gives us the motivation to do that reset. When in actuality, there is no reset. It's just like wake up tomorrow and change your behavior.
I don't know if you felt this, but I felt this particularly at the end of 2024. And that is, I felt like we were all racing to the finish and trying to accomplish so much in 2024 at the very end.
Yeah.
Like, it's like we procrastinated.
But that's the holidays in general. You always feel crammed at the
I never
holidays.
feel that way. I've never felt this sense of, holy shit, the year is almost over. Let me get as much in as possible. And at some point in the middle of December, I just went, no.
No, because it's an arbitrary thing. It's not, you don't have to get it done by January 1st unless you have a credit card bill you need to pay. Other than that, you're fine because January 1st is no different than December 31st. It's just another day. And whatever problems you have are just going to carry on. So you have to keep, you don't have to finish everything by then.
But I think about, all the different things that I want to leave in 2024. And just not necessarily in 2024, but like the things that I want to leave behind in general.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I'm programming what I want my 2025 and beyond to look like. Because the changes I want to make are not just that. Like, I'm literally looking at my life going, how can I not work so hard and not feel the pressure, like, to think that my worth is tied up in my job? To not feel like my worth is tied up in how many things I get done on my to-do list.
Yeah.
Because I think it's very easy to be like, I'm going to get this done. I'm going to get this done. And if you are a person that is low motivated, that might be what you need to do.
Yeah.
But I think there are some of us out there that are so focused on achieving things.
You can't put your self-worth on achieving things because you'll achieve them. You're like, that's just not going to be enough because there'll be something else you have to achieve.
That's what's happened to me every single time.
Yeah, you just keep stacking
every single
it.
time I've put something on my manifestation list or my to-do list or my like, these are my goals.
Yeah.
Anytime I got there, I was like, now what?
Yeah. It's good to be goal oriented, of course, but at the same time, if you fall into that trap of like, okay, if I just achieve this goal, is that what's going to make me happy?
No.
Setting another goal and making that, and then the next thing you know, you're just living to achieve these goals. It's like, are you really enjoying your life? Are you enjoying who you are?
That's why I felt like following you at Disney. I was like, is Eddie enjoying this? It's so similar.
I'm very goal oriented at Disney.
But it is similar
Right.
where I'm like, he's trying to get so much done. Is he actually enjoying the ride?
I get my enjoyment from other people. Like I feel a lot of go back to Disney. I feel a lot of pressure.
Where do you get joy?
Watching people have a good day at Disney, like watching my kid get to ride everything he wanted to ride, or watching you get on the ride you wanted to go on. Like, oh, I wanted to ride this. Okay, let me make that. It's a weird thing. It's almost like I'm a parent at Disney, and everyone in my party, I just want them to do what they want to do. And then at the end of the day, that's why I think I stayed till midnight, because from like 11 to midnight, like I'll ride the Jungle Cruise. Because it's very chill and you just sit there and you just kind of like relax, and it's sort of like Thanos after he snapped everybody away.
And you watch some poor girl giving a performance to just you and your family.
Me. Yeah, but it's like I'm literally Thanos at the end of Infinity War after he snapped everybody away, and he just sits there on the porch, just a job well done.
I love it. You're like, I love Disney the most when everyone's left.
Exactly. When the park is empty, I'm like, okay, I'm at peace now.
So you just need a zombie apocalypse to happen
That's
for
all.
you to
That's
actually
all.
enjoy yourself?
That's all. But like I going into 2025 for me, I let my mental health get real bad in 2024.
Yeah.
And I've been maintaining it for a while. I've been doing okay. Like just putting, I've been putting
Band-Aids on
fingers in the dam, just keeping but like 2024, it got bad. Like it was one of the worst mental health years I've had in a long time. And so I made that decision a couple months ago to try to pull myself out of it, and I haven't. So I'm just going to try to take that into the next year.
It's been noticeably different.
Yeah,
you've been noticeably better.
I hit a real bad place for a while.
And you're kind of like a cat. You're really good at hiding it.
Yeah.
Until something's real wrong, and then you're like, "Fuck! Why didn't you say something?"
But there was moments this year where it was like I guess I'd put so much away, that it was coming up. Like
Yeah.
I could not.
That's why I
Put it
asked
back
you.
down.
Like, you say you get joy from seeing other people have joy.
Yeah.
But I'm like, when do you get to just experience it completely alone for yourself?
Like I said, that hour from 11 to midnight when I can just
I
relax.
love that you're like, I'm like, where does Eddie find happiness? And he's like, the Jungle Cruise between 11 p.m. and 12.
that is my nirvana. That is my nirvana.
Alex, are you fucking angry?
But see, here's the thing, Jen. Here's the thing. Before you came in today, Eddie and I were deep in the psyche of Disney.
Oh, dude, we were hardcore
and then,
Disney.
like, to top it off, like, everything he's saying is near borderline accurate and
Right.
correct. And you know, but basically, for me, I'm with you, Eddie.
Yeah.
I'm fucking with you.
My perfect trait at Disney is to do what I did to you guys at Disney for like 12 hours. Just run everybody ragged, get everybody on every ride. So they leave the park going, I did everything at Disney. And then at 11 o'clock, I'll get a fucking beef skewer from the Bengal Barbecue Cafe. I'll eat my beef skewer over by the Dole Whip fucking thing with the tiki torches. And then I'll hop on the Jungle Cruise
But
around
that
11:30.
means you only experienced Disney for an hour.
Right. But that's the Disney I like.
There you go.
If I had a season pass to Disney, if I was fortunate enough to be rich enough to have a season pass
You
to
would
Disney,
drive there at 10 p.m.
I would drive there at 10 p.m., get a beef skewer at the Bengal Cafe at 11 p.m., and sit on the Jungle Cruise for an hour. And just, that would be happiness.
What is it about that ride?
I don't know. It's so, I hate the person giving the fucking spiel. I hate all the jokes because I've heard them all. I think the ride sucks. It's just janky. It needs to be improved or done away with completely. But there's something about sitting on that fucking boat and just hearing it putz along around that river. And I'm just like, it's just relaxing.
Do you know what's so funny about this?
What?
Remember when we were like the original people on TikTok before it was TikTok?
Yes. We could have been the original influencers
Eddie?
on TikTok.
What did they say?
I was the boat guy. I was the boat guy.
Alex, do you see it? Do you see the connection my brain is making
Yeah.
right now?
I should have been the boat guy. On TikTok beta, I was the boat guy. Before TikTok was
That's
TikTok.
right. You were, yeah.
He was the boat guy.
They wanted me to be the boat guy, but I didn't own a boat, so it was impossible.
Mark Eddie.
I could have been the boat guy on TikTok.
But I don't know. It's just this whole idea that like life isn't going to stop.
No.
You know what I mean? So like if you think life stops when you get to a certain place or you reach a certain point, like you're wrong. Because you're always going to get to that point.
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, fuck, now what's the next thing
Yeah.
I'm supposed to do? You know? And it's almost like when you are constantly chasing that next point in your life, you're never present. And
No.
that's what I was wondering the whole time we were at Disney. I was like,
Am I
Eddie
ever present at Disney?
Are you present?
Yeah, that last hour.
But I'm
present.
like, is how you handle Disney just a metaphor for like how you handle life?
Probably. I'm always trying to take care of people. I'm always trying to make other people happy. Trying to give them a good experience.
I think Eddie should spend more time on the Jungle Cruise between the hours
Dude,
of 11 and 12.
It's too crowded. Yeah, before then it's too crowded, but 11 to 12 is peak.
But otherwise, like if you're constantly chasing that next thing, you're just kicking the can down the road.
Yeah.
You know?
And I was doing that all of 24, and I think it caught up to me mental health wise, and that's why I worked on getting help again. And I've seen improvements, but it's still a long way to go.
Yeah. It's interesting because I feel like it's so much easier for other people to see like what your patterns are and your shortcomings are. And like you said, New Year's resolutions are all about breaking patterns that aren't healthy for us,
Yeah.
you know? Or not even New Year's resolutions, just life changes.
Life changes. That
But-
should happen at any point.
But I feel like I'm really good at seeing other people's stuff. And one thing I've always struggled is like seeing my own patterns.
Looking in the mirror and seeing your
I
patterns.
see them once it's happened. I
Yeah.
see it once it's completion.
It's hard to see anything when you're in it.
But when you're in it,
Yeah, it's hard to see.
you're
when
like,
you're
no,
in it.
this is totally different.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, when I'm freaking driving people around Disneyland, like I'm not seeing what I'm doing. I'm just doing what I do. And then at the end of the day, you're like, okay, yeah, I drove everybody ragged. I ran Jen out of here 2 hours early.
Nah. We had done everything already.
Had I gone slower, she'd still be here. But yeah, you don't see it when you're in it. But that's
I let that one
that's
go.
the human condition.
I let that one go. It could have.
You could have.
I could have jumped on that one. I didn't.
You didn't.
I just wanted to show I exercised
Restraint.
massive restraint.
See, you recognized the pattern.
I did.
And you changed it. You changed the behavior.
What's that, Alex? Use your fucking microphone.
Nothing. Eddie, you're on fire today, dude. You're just killing it today. You came in with high energy, and it must be because you went to Disney.
Yeah.
And you had your reset.
I got my reset. I got my Disney reset.
It's so funny because I was going to ask you, like, what's a pattern you can't break? And I think a lot of your patterns are you're so busy taking care of other people that you neglect yourself.
Yeah, I do that a lot. But I think that might be because, I mean, not to get super on the couch here and talk about my mental state. Yeah, that's true. But the metaphorical psychiatrist couch.
That's what people like about our show is that it's fucking real. We make fun of it. There's a lot of gallows humor, but it's real.
Tons. What I do, I think this has a lot to do. I've tried to self-analyze this, which is maybe not a healthy thing to do, but I realized that since I can't fully support people the way I want to, my family especially, financially the way I want to.
Yeah.
Because I'm not in a place where I make enough money where I can give Tracy a chance just to relax and breathe and give Colton everything he wants and give them the life that I think they deserve. What I tend to do is I try to make up for that in other ways by trying to do everything else that I can do.
But Eddie, can I tell you something as your friend?
Yeah.
You're succeeding in that.
Yeah, but in that part, but not the other part. I
know, but the thing is though, is the piece that like you feel like you're neglecting or you feel bad about.
Yeah.
That's like some pre-wired shit that like every relationship and every family unit and everybody's life needs to look a certain way.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's the neurodivergence in me or if it's just like the striking out on my own and not being as close to my family and my roots as like a lot of people are.
Yeah.
I've always been like, why does my life have to look conventional?
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing wrong with like society being different than the rest of society.
Right.
Because what works for you, and this is like something that I've really come to understand in 2024 is what works for other people doesn't necessarily work for me, my lifestyle, or the way my brain works.
Yeah. You have to.
So why am I going to shoehorn myself into a world that's not built for me?
Yeah.
You know, then you're constantly going to not be happy. You're going to constantly not feel like you're not enough. So why bother?
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. It's so...
I mean, from my aspect, I'm not trying to... I don't need to have a house in a certain neighborhood with a certain this and these certain possessions. I don't need that to be happy. I want to be in a place... And this is, again, this is financially speaking, a place financially where I can take care of my wife and my kid and give them the best life possible. But I know I'm not in that place. And that place doesn't necessarily mean a house, a big house in a neighborhood, a nice car and all that. It just means taking care of them so they don't have to worry about things.
I've had all those things.
Yeah.
I've had the big house. I've had all of the things that I thought I wanted.
Yeah.
And I've never felt more trapped and unhappy than when I had those things.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, it doesn't matter.
Right.
You know, whatever people tell you your life should look like and like the things that should matter, it's not that.
Yeah. It's not the things. It's just
not.
It's the security of having a wife with a medical condition and a child in this world. It's like, I just want to be able to take care of them and I can't do it in the financial way.
Yeah.
So I try to do it in every other aspect. And that requires me to not think about myself as much. What's
crazy is on the flip side of that is Tracy and I suffer from a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we have our bodies, she has different diagnosis than me, but like our bodies do very similar
things. Yeah.
You know? And so I deeply sympathize with that.
Yeah.
But there's one thing, like I have never seen Tracy want for someone to take care of her.
No,
because
she's not that way.
Always there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you never leave her stranded. You are with her at every
Except at Disneyland. I will fucking high and dry. Bye. You want to fucking slack off and hang out over in Orleans Square? I'm in Tomorrowland, so fuck off.
You need a break?
Yeah.
Good.
You
need
a break?
One. Yeah.
Okay, you need a break? You want to go sit over on Tom Sawyer Island for an hour?
You make all the jokes you want. But I'm just saying, you're with her at every single doctor's appointment.
Yeah.
You never let her go through any of this shit by herself.
Yeah. And
I can say that I have had partners that may have been able to pitch in a little more financially or not pitch. I've had partners that couldn't pitch in financially and also didn't fucking show up.
Yeah, you can't do that. You got to do one or the other.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
You got to do one or the other.
It's like whatever your deficit is that you
Hopefully
think you
both.
have. Whatever your deficit is that you think you have, you can offer somebody something in another way.
Which is what I try to do, and I think I do it to a
succeed.
detriment sometimes, to myself, to my own mental and
You
personal
succeed.
health. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, thank
Maybe 1, be a little nice to yourself,
you. Yeah,
and 2, maybe try to find a little bit of balance.
yeah. Balance is always key, and the hardest thing to find.
And balance doesn't necessarily mean going to the store and buying more Star Wars figures.
No, but that helps. That helps kick the can down the road.
We would love to know what you guys are not going to take into 2025 with you. You know, what are things in your life that you want to change? Because that's the stuff that we're here to help you guys with. That's the stuff that we like talking about. We like making a lot of jokes about it.
Oh, sure.
But we do like talking about, and that's something that I've always valued about our friendship. We're not afraid to discuss hard, deeper stuff, you know? So it's like, we want to know what you guys are going to do. What are you going to change? What patterns are you going to break? And how are you going to be nice to yourself in 2025?
That's the trick.
And until then, we should talk about dumb people from Florida and the shit that they're not changing.
They're not changing.
2024, 2025, and beyond, Florida man's going to Florida.
That pattern stays the same.
Alex, hit the bumper.
We're playing Florida Man Friday. I read Jen Sturgis 3 Florida Man headlines, 2 real, 1 fake. Just tell me what is the fake Florida Man headline. And Alex is playing along.
Always.
All right, here we go.
What's the score, by the way?
We're not going to take negativity into the new year.
Clean slate, 0-0. No negativity.
But I'm happy to.
No records.
Yeah, I'm happy to admit defeat, Jen. Congratulations on a good year.
You won 2024.
So wait, are we restarting?
I'm
Yeah,
happy
you won
to.
the 2024 season. You were the Florida Man champion for the 2024
Okay,
season.
but
get you
I
a
just
belt.
also think our record should be all time as
Okay.
well. But we
Have
can
an all-timer.
restart. It's 0-0.
Well, if you won
fresh year.
you won last week, I believe. So I think it was 12-10 like that. So it might be 13-10. But I'm sure a listener will, in the comments of the YouTube page, give us the accurate count.
Because, you know, they're better at math. than
They're
us.
way better at numbers than me.
All right, Eddie, what
All
do
right,
you
here we
got?
go. Florida man thought missing was found with his arm stuck in hotel toilet. Florida man wakes neighbors by screaming and pretending to be fireworks. Florida man calls 911 about McDonald's order and says he has cocaine in his butt.
Dang, Eddie coming out strong.
Right? It's going to be tough. I'm raising the bar on 2025 for Florida man.
I am impressed that an arm could fit in a toilet,
Right.
though. I'm not going to lie.
Florida man stuck in toilet with his
This
arm.
is
Florida
hard.
man acting like fireworks. Or Florida man calls 911 about McDonald's and has
Alex,
cocaine
they're
in his
all
butt.
just slightly a little too much. Do you know what I
Right.
mean?
Aren't they?
Right.
Aren't they?
As if they're all Florida.
I'm disappointed that 2 of these things are real because I'm like, what is the world we're living in?
Well,
all
I
right,
think
here we
we
go.
know.
I'm gonna
Okay,
go.
so cocaine in the butt is 3, but it's the McDonald's cocaine in
Calls
the butt.
911 about McDonald's order.
The
says
second
he has
one is something about a guy screaming, pretending to be fireworks.
He wakes up his neighbors screaming and he wakes up his neighbors by screaming and pretending to be fireworks.
He's saying, I'm fireworks.
I'm fireworks. Wake up.
And then the first one was getting your hand stuck in a
Florida
smoothie.
man thought missing was found with his arm stuck in hotel toilet.
I'm going hotel toilet.
You're going hotel toilet is the fake
I'm,
one?
I'm really, yeah.
Okay.
I'm going with McDonald's cocaine in butt.
Cocaine butt. You're a winner. And starting the year off with a victory, Alex.
Yep, I knew it. How do you get, what part fit? What part got stuck?
Have you ever seen National Lampoon Vegas Vacation?
I've seen it.
That's honestly where I was like, that's feasible.
Let's see what could happen. It happened in Vacation, a vacation movie. It could
At
happen in
least
real life.
at least I know where Eddie's getting his material from now, and I'm on to you.
Hey, way to start off, Alex. 1-0
Like I said,
in 2025.
out of here.
This is like preseason. Even the Jets look good in preseason. Whatever. I'll come back with a vengeance.
All right.
I got to shake off the rust.
You're right. It's a holiday rust.
Maybe
It's a holiday rust.
I've done so much work on myself
Yeah.
that I'm no longer Florida woman.
You can no longer identify with Florida people.
I can. bullshit. We'll see what's happened next week. Guys, thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Not Today. Eddie, where can people find you?
You can find me at Eddie Pence on all the socials or go to eddiepence.com.
And you can find me at Jennifer Sturger on all the socials or jennifersturger.com. Or no, it's jensturger.com. jensturger.com or brandarmy.com/Jennifer Sturger. Support single dog moms, guys. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Kevin needs lots of stuff. Help Kevin out. Do it for Kevin.
And be kind to yourself. We know there's a lot of stuff coming up in the next couple of days that might make some of us not feel great or make some of us, whatever. There's just a lot of shit going on. And I think pretending that the calendar year rolling over changes any of that.
No, it doesn't. But sometimes it's good to focus on the micro and not be overwhelmed by the macro.
1,000%. Focus on your life, guys. Focus on your life and the things in your life that make you happy and what 2025 is going to look like for you. And we will see you again next week. Bye.